Hola! It's Amanda in Mexico. I still can't quite believe it, even though we are here, and when I walk down the streets, we are clearly in a different place. I'm still a bit blown away by the fact that we actually got here. And we're still feeling a little bit not quite with it at times, but we're finding our feet. We are currently in Puebla, which is just south of Mexico City, apparently. Well, so the journey was interesting. We did the train journey and not as comfortable as my memories of other train journeys that I've had in India. My memory was that I've had overnight trains, but it's a bit noisy here, a bit noisier than where we've been before. So my memory of overnight trains is like sleeping through the night and arriving wherever I was going to, feeling quite refreshed. But it was a little bit noisy and I found it quite uncomfortable. And of course now, because of COVID situation, they don't provide blankets and pillows, which I'd totally forgotten. But luckily, because of all our luggage that we took with us, we happened to have packed some of the Indian bed sheets on top to kind of create a padding. So that was good. We could just use them to sleep with. And then we had a lovely super deluxe room in the hotel in Mumbai. We were upgraded to super deluxe, so we had a full day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. lying around on a really nice big bed. That was really quite cool. And then it was really straightforward at the airport. We just went straight through. On none of the journey, no one asked us for our PCR tests. But I've since been told that because when we had ours taken, we provided our passports, that it's all done online. And so the very fact that they look at your passports, they can find out everything else, apparently. I don't know, nobody ever mentioned it. So we went through straightforward. I think the only question David got asked was why he'd been in India so long, why he hadn't left earlier. And then he was asked, did you pay for your exit permit? How much did you pay for your exit permit? To which he replied, a lot. Because we did. But yeah, it was all straightforward and the planes were great. And just interesting having two very long flights with only a couple of hours in between. The second one, which was 12 hours, that was nice because we actually had a glass of champagne and a small bottle of red wine on that flight. That was really cool. I slept quite a bit. Oh, it's started to pour it down with rain here now.
Shoes.
We've taken the shoes out.
No.
Cool. Wow. I thought the clouds were really low. I've just taken a photo. I might put it in the video to show you. So yeah, that's where we are now. Anyway, back to the story. Everything was fine going through all the planes and everything. It was only when we actually landed in Mexico where we had a bit of a stumbling block. And I've since read up about, from various different Facebook sites of other people coming in, the fact that we don't speak Spanish. And so we didn't really know what the immigration guy was saying, and he had to type things in to his Google Translate. So I think that probably went against us a bit. Who knows? We don't know. But they only wanted to give us 30 days when we first got here. We have the little card thing that you fill out, and then you have to carry this card around with you, which says how long you can stay here. Well, not just rain, but hailstones. So I'm like, 30 days, but we have an onward flight. We'd booked a flight to go back to the UK on the 3rd of May because we understood that we could have 180 days here. So he wanted to see all the booked accommodation for all of that time. And because we'd only got the first week booked in an Airbnb, which we're now at, we were going to get here and just find our feet and sense what it was like. And did we want to move on after a week, or did we want to stay here for a bit longer? So we were going to book everything else after that. Well, we still are. And that's what I was trying to explain to him, but he Twice he went off to ask somebody else and came back, and then eventually said, second interview. Well, he said it in Spanish and typed it into Google Translate. So then we followed him down a corridor where he left us, where there was a desk in this corridor and a woman at the desk, sort of looking a bit grumpy and not really speaking English. Of course, we're in a non-English speaking country. But she wanted a ticket, flight tickets. So we had our boarding passes and we took them out and we had to write British and date of birth. And then she said phone, so I took my phone out. And she took my phone off me with the boarding pass thing and then put it in a basket and handed us these forms that we then had to fill in and shooed us into this adjoining room where there were loads of lads sat around, clearly waiting for interviews or something as well. And so we started filling in this form, which was asking us more questions about why we were here and did we know anyone who lived in Mexico, and you know, what we were planning to do and where we were planning to stay. And we were there for quite some time watching some other people go off for an interview. Twice one of the officials just came into the room, stood in the corner of the room and just looked around like this at everyone and then went off again. It was really quite bizarre. And I really had no idea what was going on, and I wasn't sure what they were going to do with us. But you know, I didn't have my phone, which was no good anyway because I had no SIM and no Wi-Fi, and we didn't have our passports. He'd gone off with them, and I'm thinking, what's happening? Anyway, within a few more minutes, he came back in, this guy, and he led us back to the immigration counter, and he stamped all the passports. All the forms and that, handed them back to us and said, welcome. I was like, well, thank you, what a very nice welcome. So we worked our way out and went to get something to eat and drink. Sat down, kind of bewildered, and looked at the forms that he'd given us, only to find out that they'd only given us 93 days. So like, oh, so we still can't stay long enough to go and get our flight in May. So we're working that one out, looking at the possibilities of going to Guatemala and then coming back in, maybe getting another 90 days. Who knows? It's all an adventure. But it was an interesting few hours, and being jet lagged and feeling a bit out of sorts. I was really feeling like, what have I done? I've just left India, that I just felt so at home there. And now I've come to this place where I don't speak the language. I can only understand a few words, and we didn't get the greatest of welcomes. But things changed quickly, and we slept a night at the Airbnb near the airport, and Irma, who hosted us there, was absolutely lovely, spoke perfect English, gave us her contact number and said, call me anytime if you need any help while you're in Mexico, which was nice. We found the bus station to come here to Puebla. We went to check our bags in to get on the bus, only to realise that the ticket that we bought had the day on of the day when we booked it online in India, which was the 3rd of November, not the 13th of November, which was... So we had to buy 2 more tickets. Rookie errors. But we're enjoying where we are now because it's got a really, really comfortable bed, and we're sleeping quite a lot at the minute, and it's got the most amazing views. I'm going to put in a few more pictures now to show you the views. So there you can see all the across the rooftops to the mountains in the background. And it's really rather lovely, and we're enjoying this new adventure, learning more as we go along, learning more Spanish. We went to a supermarket today and worked our way around the supermarket, just noticing what we did understand. So that was good fun. It's good fun, and we just need a bit more time to settle in and just enjoy being here with no expectations and no plans as such, and no greater plans yet. It's just a bit of an adventure, see what happens. Oh wow, that was a flash. Was that a flash of lightning? And thunder! It was a flash of lightning and thunder. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show you now. Hang on, let's have a look at this. The raindrops on the window and intense kind of hailstones, like tiny lumps of ice down on the chair on the balcony there. You won't really be able to see much through there, but gives you an idea. So I'm going to go now and enjoy this interesting storm with the sun just setting in the background. So that's our update. We're here. Oh, the sun's shining on my face now. We're here, we're alive, and we're enjoying life. And I'll tell you how we're getting on in another few days. Bye for now.